Hello friends, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv. Let's dive into Y Academy episode 26, which this is one of my favorite episodes ever. Like the past three, 26, 25, 24, like everything since Sky Snaker and the Y Mafia stuff has been very solid. This episode is brought to you by beautiful girl transfer student Kuuka Nanakumo Circumstance, or Bishoujo Tinkose Nanakumo Kuuka no Jijo. I want to start things off by saying Kuuka is adorable, and I support the ship of Kuuka x Ranto. I mean, this just works so stinking well. I mean, if you really think about this, this is probably the most character development we've seen for one character in general. Like, I'm not going to, like, go overboard with this, but this is major character development for Kumako Kumo Ike, or Kuuka-chan. Like, the fact that Kumako went through all of this stuff to improve herself, kind of to get noticed by Ranto, but kind of also, if you read the subtext of all of this, like, if you sift through everything, it feels like she's wanting to do it for herself. Like, you can hear that in her voice and with some of the things that she specifically says during that flashback. But this episode all starts off with us being introduced to this new Tinkose, or new transfer student, and she is adorable. And at first I'm like, that's totally Kumako's big sister, or something like that. I'm like, oh, that has to be a family member. But after the flashback, I'm like, what? It's not her sister? And she actually became tall? Or taller? Which is really nice, because even though Kumako was adorable and small, I like the fact that she is now tall, because now we can get cool shots of her and Ranto, and without Ranto having to be, like, stooped down in the shot, so that, like, all of the shots and scenes have a little bit of symmetry. So, but Motaro is completely flipping in love with her. He's so far gone, guys, that we think we have to give Motaro a new zip code. That Motaro is now on planet Kuuka, because Motaro, even though he should know he doesn't have a chance, because I feel like Kumako or Kuuka came back specifically for Ranto and to help versus this alien threat. She doesn't have time for Motaro, that we know of right now. And this episode lays a lot of groundwork for Kuuka and Ranto, even though it seems like Ranto half knows that this might be someone he knows. Like, you can tell it from his posturing, like, throughout the episode. Like, he's not completely social distancing, or, like, the amount of space between both of them is a lot different than what you would honestly think. Like, if it's like a new transfer student, it's gonna be more than arm's length. Personally, like, at my school, when we got a new student, it was like at least like an arm and a hand's length away. But Kuuka is already in the zone. But she even has a fan club. This is all adding up to the fact that Kuuka became an anime star on top of things. Everyone loves her. A guy that is obviously an American transfer student that loves anime brings up the fact that, oh, she is a superstar from anime. And everything can be seen on the channel, probably. I don't know. But the scene of her kind of asking Ranto, do you have a minute, or can you show me around, is really really nice. Like, it's a small scene, but it has both of them center frame, it has them actually conversing. Then we get the flashback of Kumako hyper-training herself. And you can see there's like some similarities, like her eyes are still basically the same size, which is nice because most of the time anime studios are like, yeah, we're gonna make these eyes overly big because she's obviously grown bigger, so we gotta adjust the eye size. No, Kumako's eyes are basically the same size and same shape, even down to, I think her eyebrows are even the same as well for the most part. I mean, they might be a little longer, but she's had a growth spurt. Well, Ranto has too, if you really think about it, and people grow differently. And Kuuka-chan asked to go to generic anime McDonald's, which I'm 100% fine with. She has to chow down. We get a flashback of Kumako and Ranto chowing down. Kumako gets a pickle stuck on her face after nomming the giant burger. Ranto takes the pickle and eats it because he is a gentleman, I guess. But the same doesn't happen to our darling little Kuuka-chan. It's because Ranto's obliviousness of saying, oh, I know someone with a similar name as yours. I just don't exactly know. Like, the similar first name might have been enough to, like, trigger, do I know her? That sensation, but it kind of doesn't then. But Ranto is a gentleman and finishes the giant burger, and then we get more cute scenes of Kumako and young Ranto walking together, and then Ranto fixes Kumako's hair. Kuuka-chan tries the same thing multiple times, but Ranto is oblivious. Nayu is not having any of this high school drama or this middle school drama romancy thing. So she sends her secret agent, which is this one. I don't even know what this one's name is. I want to say it's like, to be honest, like, she sends her right-hand woman to basically solve this problem. But, yeah, this is all able to be countered by the fact that Kuuka-chan is able to, like, take care of everything. And ironically, her first and last name still share the same first character and same partial word. Like, Kumo is shared between the last names, even though one's at the end and one's at the beginning. Ku is shared between the first names, so there's a little bit of symmetry there. Okay, and I think it's Shio Soeda is the girl that Kuuka-chan just easily takes care of. Because Kuuka-chan has plot armor, and then we get, I forgot about the My Neighbor Kumako reference, like Totoro, the Totoro reference that they have going on. And then they get a nice double rainbow. And also, Fubuki X, yeah, I guess we should be saying Fubuki X Meraraido confirmed. He denies it. He hardcore denies it. But Fubuki is a flirt and continues flirting. So, the Yokai advisor is 100% right. Aliens and Onryo do not have enough to separate themselves to make each feel like a unique encounter. Like, even though Kuuka-chan's watch basically vacuumed the alien Onryo spirit out of Shio, like, you can't tell. Like, it says alien, but it could have been an Onryo. This even references the fact that this is an Onryo, like in the actual wiki. And apparently, this is a reference from the first episode without like the Onryo appearing, but instead like the small blue alien presents Shio all the way back then, like 20 odd or 20 even weeks ago at least, this had all happened. So they have dotted that I or crossed that T regarding this, and some of you may notice that like I sound tired. I'm doing this at basically 10 o'clock at night. I've had a long day. This would have been done earlier, but I've been gone all day. I do want to say that scene-wise, this stuff actually looks okay and makes sense, because I think Kuuka is actually in the background of each of the combat scenes. Like for Ranto, like what to fight against the alien dog thing, Ranto busts out a really strong attack and is able to take down the alien dog, and then the spawn of Satan, I mean Nayu, appears and starts to haggle them and harass them. But then Nayu realizes that everyone and their brother is watching the situation, so she and the discipline committee take this as an L and they kind of leave. Then we get a little bit more symmetry from the flashback, another double rainbow. But Ranto walks away after Kuuka asks, "Can I join the student council? Maybe, sort of. Can I be your Nakama?" Like, she infers a lot with this last statement she makes. She's like, "Can I help the student council?" But the way she was actually speaking, it sounds more like, "Can I help you?" Like, how can I assist you? In my personal opinion, that's how it came across. Then again, my listening skills aren't fantastic. They're somewhere in the middle. Like, no one's perfect. But, like, you can hear the intention on, like, how she's speaking. Even with these cheap $3 earbuds that I have, I can hear the intention. Like, the pitch of her voice really changes. And then Ranto just walks away after kind of just giving confirmation of like, okay. Like, he doesn't really give a clear answer, but he kind of infers that it's okay. And also, Ranto realizes that he's like, I've seen a double rainbow with someone with similar colored hair before. He doesn't quite get the connection, but I think he actually does, and will soon. When he realizes that Kuuka is Kumako, I think he might faint. I think he might have like a huge moment, and they might have their moment. This is almost as good as Nina and Motaro, which, why isn't that a thing? Why did they make Motaro like Kuuka when Nina exists? That's just one humble YTuber's opinion. I mean, this episode was really solid. The sound design was pretty good for like some of the scenes, like especially for the flashbacks and for the scenes with the rain. It actually sounded alright. These later episodes have been much better than like previous episodes in the teens. And I'm not saying that this episode goes out without any flaws. I mean, this episode is kind of tropey, and I guess that might be a flaw if someone was nitpicking. But personally, I thought this was a very solid showing. The only issue that I personally had was I felt like this character development could have been used back when Ranto's first flashbacks and Kumako's first appearance was. That this could have made Ranto and Kumako's introductions much stronger. I do understand why they waited for this one, because they wanted Kumako to have a training arc, because basically Kumako and her group, weren't they escorted out of Y Academy by the disciplinary committee, or am I thinking of another club? I may be thinking of another club, but I'm not 100% sure. But this episode was good regardless. And I'm going to end it here. You guys have yourselves a great rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.